Good afternoon, friends. All are
Good
there.
afternoon, sir.
Very few students have joined today. Why it is late? Still few are joining. No issue. So we will start our session. Students will get admit. Yes. So today we will finish the unit number 2. So what is that? The name anyone is remembering? Unit number 2. What we have started? That is the first question. Just ask the same questions to yourself. We every day we are learning, but what is the unit name for which we are right now studying? So no one is remembering, correct?
The 801 architecture and instruction.
Correct. Very good. So at least a few students are awake and they are in touch with the study, because many are just observing that they are just listening, they are watching these sessions and leave it like that. But this uh, situation might be get changed within the next 1 month. So after that, you supposed to come in the college, sit on the bench, listen carefully, and that time you supposed to give the exam. Definitely, the other subject teachers have started to conduct the exam also online. So in the same way that already I told to you that every fortnight we supposed to conduct the that one test for you all. So accordingly, the other subject teachers also started to conduct. I hope all of you are enjoying and giving the answers, correct answers. You might got the result also for that. So just check it out. This scenario is definitely going to be changed. You're supposed to give the exam at the end of this semester. It might get late, but anyhow, this semester exam you have to give. So accordingly, be in touch with the study for each subject. Prepare your own notes and start the study. So the second unit we have started long ago, and we moved at the end of this particular unit, and the few points are remain from this unit, that is related to the SFRs. The bit it is mentioned in the this unit number 2, that is the related to that only, that is counter, timer, serial data input output, and interrupt. So already we have given the title, that is SFR, and under that we have studied this all the points. So let us move towards the today's session. So first slide, that is the same, that is a reminder for you that this is what we are going to study and what we have studied. So maximum of these SFRs already we have studied. You just go through that, see anything we missed or what. So whatever it is missing, so that we are today going to complete. So as usual, we will start with that quiz. So if this font it is very small on your screen, or those who are watching on the laptop, so you can just make it zoom by yours. No issue with that. So let's start this session with the quiz. So these are the few questions for the quiz. So I hope you have not seen the answers, and this will give the few minutes for you to solve this quiz. So just check it out what you have noted yesterday, and from that, what you are getting the meaning of these questions and what answer, correct answer you can give. So put in the chat box. Okay, so first answer, I got the first question's answer, that is 98H. Okay. Second question is mode 2 in serial communication is dash dash. So okay, for that also I got the answer, but the very correct answer. The others are also the correct, but very correct answer is right now I got from Shipra, that is 9-bit UART, because that UART is also having a lot of importance in the answer. So that is the mode 2 name is 9-bit UART. Then third question, REN field in SCON. So SCON is the SFR is dash dash. So what is the meaning of this, or it's a function. So that is expected the answer for this REN field. So I think no one has put the answer for this. So search for that answer. By that time T mode is used for that I got the answer timer mode. So that is the technical correct answer, timer mode. That is the various modes are available for timer. That is mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. So what is mode 0? What is mode 1? What is mode 2? What is mode 3? So that also you supposed to remember. But the answer for this, it is correct. That is for the selecting timer instead of that timer mode. That is correct answer. So don't give the answer or don't feel that the answer it is for the selecting timer. So timer modes. So that will be the correct answer for this question. But the third, okay, third answer right now I got. So third answer also now I got correct. So we'll move towards the answer. So first answer, that is the SCON and is having the starting address. So always remember this starting is very important, but nowhere it is mentioned or we are also not writing that. But the starting address is 98H. Like that the answer is there. Second one, that is the 9-bit UART. Third one is the receive enable. So if you observing capital REN, that is receive enable. Like that it is REN. This word has become. But the use of that is whether to enable or disable the reception in serial communication. Definitely it is related with the serial communication. So this is receive, enable or disable. And fourth one, that is the timer enable or the timer mode selection. So this is what the quiz is. So next one, that is the SFR. So that is the 7 categories. Again, I am bombarding. That is the these are the 7 categories. So I hope you all are remembering. And this is what the yesterday we have gone through. That is TCON and T mode. That is the timer mode. So in which mode it is going to be work. So SCON, that is related with serial communication. So that is the one of the point we have seen in that. That is the serial input and output. So for that, transmission and reception. So which pins are there in this 8051 and how it is getting controlled. So this is what SCON is, the instruction by which we can control the serial communication. So various terminologies we have seen in this, the SCON 0 to SCON 7. So if you have gone through and if you have written yesterday, that is in a short, that is what is the meaning of each one. So you might be understand that what is the use of each and every field in SCON. So one more term we supposed to remember, that is the baud rate. So the baud rate, it is nothing but the transmission capacity. How many bits it can transfer or how many bits it can receive in a second. So that the way the speed of that transmission it is measured in the baud rate. So baud rate, if you have seen this table carefully, so baud rate it is dependent on the frequency. So which frequency? That is the oscillator frequency. So oscillator frequency is nothing but crystal frequency. Crystal frequency it is nothing but it is connected between which point or which pins. Are you remembering? The crystal is connected in 8051 between dash dash point. So who will give the first answer? Just I am waiting in the chat box. Who is faster? Just check it out with the correct answer definitely. Crystal it is connected to or in 8051 between pin number dash and dash. I am waiting for the answer. So put in the chat box. Okay, I got the answer from definitely the from CR only, but no issue. The correct answer I got. So we will go ahead. So the frequency is 12 megahertz. So from my side that I am telling to you. So depending on that, this baud rate, that is the speed of this data transmission is depends. So next, today's remaining is that the related to interrupt. So till now we have learned or we have discussed that how many interrupts are there, which interrupts are there. So few interrupts we have seen on that the pinout diagram of 8051. So anybody remembering that how many interrupts are there that we discussed? So in the slide you can read. So 8051 has how many interrupts?
5.
Yes, it is written the 5. But if you are remembering, so many times I told to you, or you also remembering that how many interrupts are there like that? Anyone has noted down? Or 5 only we have written or discussed?
6, sir.
Yes. So the answer sometimes it got the 6. Now it is written in the this slide. It is the 5. So what is this confusion? So there is no question of the confusion. So main 5 are there and one is more than the important, that is the reset. So reset they are not counting in user programmable interrupt. User programmable interrupt, because reset is the pin by which we can interrupt the whole operation. That is whatever it is going on there. So by using this reset pin, we can just interrupt that total program. So that was the 6th interrupt. And other than that, these are the 5 which it is shown in this particular slide. So each interrupt can be programmed to 2 priority level, because if you are remembering the pinout diagram, again you supposed to remember the pinout diagram, and in that we have seen, so int 0, int 1, int 0 and int 1. So these 2 external interrupts are there, and their location in the pinout diagram, if that pinout diagram is in front of you, so it is pin number 12 and 13. Pin number 12 and 13. So these are the 2 external interrupts. In addition to that, the timer interrupt, timer or control, counter we are saying that. So counter or timer. So they are also the interrupt. How? Because after a specific timing or after a specific counting, it can control or it can interrupt the program. So it is the also comes under the interrupt. That is T1 and T0. T1 and T0. and the pin numbers for the same in the pinout. So it is pin number 15 and 14. So that also we supposed to remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And where is the fifth? That is the serial communication. So for serial communication, RxD and TxD, these two pins are available with 8051, and they are available at pin number 10 and 11 respectively. RxD and TxD, they are available at pin number 10 and 11. So that is the fifth interrupt we can say for the serial communication. And the last one, that is the reset, which is the overall just interrupting or stopping the operation of the 8051. So what the explanation it is written, the brief idea about this all interrupts. So you can just read it. External request from the P3.2. So what is this P3.2? It is nothing but the port 3, and in that the pin number 2 and 3, like that. Because here if you are looking that pinout diagram in front of you, so pin number is different, the notations are different, and their function is different, like this. That is pin number 12, the name is P3.2 and function is INT0, like this. So 3 terminologies are there related to that particular pin. So all you supposed to remember. Pin number 12 ही port 3 ची दुसरी पिन आहे, that is P3.2, and the specific function for that is the INT0. अशा प्रकारे हे specification आहे. So for these interrupts, the respective addresses are also available. So here it is given, that is interrupt number 0 to 4. That is total 5 interrupts are there. Respective, that is INT0, T0, INT1, T1, and last one, that is the serial port. So in this way they have bifurcated, and their respective addresses also they have mentioned. So that is 0003H, 000BH, 0013H. Like this, it is the given the respective addresses for here. So apart from that, the interrupts, how they are enabled and how they are controlled, or how the priority is decided in these interrupts. So that is the point related to the interrupt. Because only the interrupts are there, you can apply the interrupt, okay. But if multiple interrupts or the what we can say, that is the multiple these timers, 2 timers are there. So both timers simultaneously, if they are trying to work, so who will get the priority? Which one will work first, and which one will get the disabled? So for that, the enable, disable, and the control, that is important. So for that, next 2 SFRs we are looking at now. So the first SFR here, that is the IE, that is interrupt enable. So which interrupt, how we can enable or disable? So it can be set through this IE. So always remember, IE is the one of the SFR, and its address is A8H. A8H. So that always you supposed to remember. The IE address is A8H. So you can note them down somewhere. Just a sec. This RAM problem. Okay, leave that. So you just go through that this slide and draw this field structure or field distribution of 8-bit IE register. So draw it in your notebook just by giving the heading interrupt, and under that first SFR, that is the IE. Draw this one. So total 8 bits are there. In that, the lower bit, that is the EX0, ET0, then EX1, ET1, then ES, and after that the sixth and seventh bit, it is kept blank for the future use, and the last one, that is the EA, which is very important. Drawn? Okay. Now, just we will go one by one that what is the use and what is the meaning or the function of each bit. So first bit, that is the EA, which is important as compared to the others because this bit is deciding whether to enable interrupt or not. So definitely the bit should be the one if you want to make it interrupt enable. That is, if EA is equal to 0, that also you can note in your words. If EA is equal to 0, it will disable the interrupt. And if EA is equal to 1, it will enable the interrupt. So this is what the use of this EA pin. That is the 1 bit field. Then the next one, that is the ES. So the name itself, it is having enable serial communication like that. So serial interrupts whether to enable or disable. So that is decided by this ES pin, because we have seen that the 5 interrupts are there which we can configure. So for that enabling and disabling, all it is included in this IE, that is interrupt enable. So in that way you can remember. So ES, it is for the serial communication or serial communication interrupt. So the same way, if it is 0, then disable serial interrupt. If it is 1, then enable serial interrupt. Got it? So in this way, ES field is there in IE. So that also you can note down in your words. The next two field, that is ET1 and EX1. ET1 and EX1. So ET1, it is nothing but it is used to enable timer 1. It is used to enable or disable timer 1 overload interrupt. Timer 1 overload interrupt. So what is this overloading? So in the case of timer, so that is if the count is 100 and if count goes beyond that, so it makes that is it is overloading. So it is the overloading. So timer 1 overload interrupt, it is enabled by ET1. So again the same, that is if you are putting the 0 for that, so it will disable. So if you put the 1, so it will enable. Normally that cannot be, or that is not done by the user. So it is program specific. While running the program,
If that overload occur, so automatically this bit, that is ET1, has to become 1. So it is not a user specific, so it is program specific. In between, somewhere it found that key timer 1 gets overloaded, so it will initiate or it will enable the interrupt, that is ET1. Similarly for EX1, so it will enable or disable external interrupt. So which is the external interrupt? So that is INT1. External interrupt, it is nothing but INT1, which is connected to which pin? Immediately you supposed to just guess the answer, or you should remember the answer for that key. For which pin this INT1 and INT0 right now we have discussed, it is been connected. That is external hardware we can apply over there, and we will get that the particular interrupt, that is externally. So that's why the name it is given external interrupt. And that is what the INT1 and INT0 are, the two external interrupt, or the external hardware interrupt, more specific. External hardware interrupt. Remember, in the same way, there is timer 0 and interrupt 0. We know that the timers are T0, T1, and external interrupts INT0 and INT1. So ET1, EX1, similarly ET0, EX0. It is the case. So what is this ET0? Timer 0 overflow interrupt. Timer 0 overflow interrupt. So whether it is enabled or disabled, so again it is a program specific. So during the execution of operation or the program, if it found that की timer 0 overload झालेला आहे, तर त्यावेळेस हा इंटरप्ट इनेबल होतो, म्हणजे ही बिट 1 होते. So this is what the ET0 is having the function. Same for the EX0, that is enable or disable external interrupt 0, that is INT0. तो enable करायचा की disable करायचा, so that is decided by EX0. So in MCQ that can be asked की INT1 ला जर enable करायचं आहे तर कुठली पिन 1 केली पाहिजे. नीट क्वेश्चन आहे का? INT1 ला म्हणजे इंटरप्टला इनेबल करायचा असेल तर कुठली पिन 1 करणे आवश्यक आहे, किंवा लॉजिक 1 ला कनेक्ट करणे आवश्यक आहे. So if it is related to IE SFR, so what answer can you give? Just write your answer in chat box. Listen carefully, huh? Because what I am expecting from you, that is a little bit more than whatever you are thinking. My question is की जर INT1 इनेबल करायचा आहे तर त्याला रिक्वायर्ड कंडिशन्स काय काय आहेत, किंवा कुठली पिन 1 करणे आवश्यक आहे. कुठली पिन 1 करणे आवश्यक आहे. So the diagram is in front of you. The explanation right now I did, and whatever you are got from this explanation, so you have to judge and you have to give the answer for this question. INT1, external INT1 जर मला इनेबल करायचं आहे तर कुठली पिन 1 करणं आवश्यक आहे. Take your time, just put your answer. Okay, more I will give the hint that so I need the answer from this IESFR only. ह्या IESFR मधल्या कुठल्या कुठल्या बिट वन करणं आवश्यक आहे. INT 1 मला इनेबल करायचं आहे. तर कुठल्या कुठल्या फील्ड वन करणे आवश्यक आहे IESFR मधल्या. Now can you give the answer for this question? Okay, so answers I am getting. So okay, from others also I am expecting the answers. From voice side, try to give the answer. चुकीचं का असं ना? Don't bother about that. I'm here to give the correct answer, but at least you're supposed to give the response so that I can get that you are there and you are listening carefully. Please write down your answers. What I am looking at that the only two students are active there and the others are in a sleeping mode. Is it? Or should I call one by one? Are you there or not like this? Pratik Waluskar, are you there? Okay, very good. So what you feel, you
Yes, sir.
just through the, even though it is wrong, so you put your answers in chat box, please. Because this is important. चुकल्याशिवाय माणसाला उत्तर सापडत नाही. This is what I am of opinion. So you're supposed to give the at least any answer what you are thinking, and if that time you will get the correct answer, so you will not forget forever the correct answer. So try to give the answer. Okay. Now don't just give the same answer. So I will tell the what the my expectation is. So whatever the answers, the first answer I got, that is the pin 13. Correct. So pin 13, it is allotted for that INT 1. Pin 13 is allotted for INT 1. That is correct. As far as the 8051 is concerned. But we are talking about the IE. की जर इनेबल करायची असेल तर पिन तर तिथं आहेच आहे फिजिकली, ती कुठेही जाणार नाहीये. परंतु ती पिन इनेबल करण्यासाठी 13 नंबर पिन इनेबल करण्यासाठी आई मध्ये म्हणजे इंटरप्ट इनेबल मध्ये कुठल्या कुठल्या फील्डला 1 देणं आवश्यक आहे, लॉजिक 1 देणं आवश्यक आहे असा हा प्रश्न होता. तर त्यानंतरचा आन्सर आय गॉट दॅट इज द IE2. तर ते IE2 नाहीये. इफ यू आर जस्ट ऑब्झर्विंग द स्लाइड, तर ते IE.2 आहे. तर ते कसं नंबरिंग दिलेलं आहे, तर IE ची कॅपॅसिटी आहे 8 बिट. राईट मोस्ट जे आहे ते LSB, राईट मोस्ट जे आहे ते LSB, म्हणून त्याला नाव दिलेलं आहे IE.0. त्याच्यानंतरचं i.1, त्यानंतर i.2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in this way. अशी त्याचं नंबरिंग त्यांनी दिलेलं आहे. त्याला मीनिंग काही नाहीये, फक्त तो सिक्वेन्स एक कळावा म्हणून i0, i1, i2 असं दिलेलं आहे. तर त्याचं मीनिंग जे आहे ते त्याच्या अलीकडे लिहिलेलं आहे. दॅट इज द पिन आयडेंटिफिकेशन. EX0, ET0, EX1, ET1 अशा प्रकारे. तर माझा जो प्रश्न होता की त्या ISFR मध्ये कुठली बीट 1 असणं आवश्यक आहे. तर तुमच्या मते आहे की i.2 म्हणजेच EX1. So this is the correct answer. But more correct answer is one more bit has to be 1. अजून एक बिट 1 असणं आवश्यक आहे आणि ती आहे i.7 EA. ही जर बिट 1 नाही केली मी तर पुढच्या कुठलेच फील्ड, कुठलेच बिट्स युजच नाहीत होणार, ऍक्टिव्हच नाहीत होणार. इज इट? EA, this should be 1 to enable the interrupt. तरच पुढचे हे फील्ड ऍक्टिव्ह होतील. आणि मग त्यामध्ये INT 01 आहे, तर त्यातला INT 1 हवा असेल तर तुम्ही म्हणताय तसं i.2 म्हणजेच EX1 has to be become logic 1. Got it? असं हे थोडंसं लिंकिंग आहे. तर करेक्ट आन्सर फॉर दिस इज i.2 आणि i.7 हे दोन फील्ड लॉजिक 1 ला कनेक्ट झाले पाहिजेत. तरच you will get that the respective INT1 enabled. समजलं आन्सर? इन दिस वे इट इज नीडेड. ही फक्त एकच पिन नाही तर पुढचं पण त्याच्यावर जे डिपेंडंट आहे तर ती पिन सुद्धा लॉजिक 1 ला कनेक्ट करणं आवश्यक आहे. नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन रिलेटेड टू इंटरप्ट ओनली, दॅट इज इंटरप्ट प्रायोरिटी. आता आपण बघितले की एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट 2 आहेत, टायमर 2 आहेत, सिरियल कम्युनिकेशनच्या पिन्स 2 आहेत. सिरियल कम्युनिकेशन दॅट इज टेकन ॲज अ ओनली 1 इंटरप्ट, बट त्याच्यात 2 पिन आहेत. So this is how the other pins are there. So in that, how to decide the priority? How to decide the priority? So for that, IPSFR is there. Interrupt ची priority ठरवण्यासाठी IPSFR is available, whose address is 88H. So note it down in your notebook. 88H. ह्याची साईज सुद्धा 8 बिटची आहे, पण त्यातल्या 6 बिटच वर्किंग मध्ये आहेत, म्हणजे फंक्शनिंग मध्ये आहेत. अदर्स 2, दॅट इज द लेफ्ट मोस्ट MSB bits are kept for the future use, reserved or not in use. Whatever you can feel, you can read it. त्या 2 फील्ड यूज मध्ये नाहीये. मग बाकीच्या ज्या आहेत त्यांचं बायफर्गेशन कसं केलेलं आहे? तर सेम वे की टायमर इंटरप्ट एक आहे आणि एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट आहे, बरोबर, 2 आहेत. तर त्यातली प्रायोरिटी कशी ठरवायची? तर त्यासाठी 2 पिन्स दिलेले आहेत. सो वन बाय वन वी विल गो. सो द स्लाइड इज ऑल्सो इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. तर ह्याच्यातली IP.5 पुन्हा तेच आलेलं आहे बघा इथं की IP.0, IP.1, IP.2, IP.3. सो दे आर द ओनली नेम्स गिवन फॉर आयडेंटिफिकेशन. त्यांना काही मिनिंग नाही, ते फक्त सिक्वेन्स सांगण्यासाठी आहेत, लोकेशन सांगण्यासाठी आहे की कुठली बिट आहे. तर IP.5 ती बीट आहे PT2. PT2. So this is kept for 8052. आपण शिकतोय 8051. पण ही जी IP ची SFR आहे तर इट इज रिझर्व्ड फॉर द टायमर टू इंटरप्ट प्रायोरिटी फॉर 8052 IC किंवा कंट्रोलर. त्यामुळं इथं 8051 मध्ये त्याचा काही यूज नाहीये, लक्षात ठेवा. सो इट इज स्पेशली मेड फॉर द 8052. नो यूज इन 8051 ऑफ दिस PT2. पण पुढचे मात्र उपयोगाचे आहेत. तर काय आहेत पुढचे? तर IP.4 त्याचं नाव आहे PS. सो सिरियल इंटरप्ट प्रायोरिटी लेवल. Serial port interrupt priority, it can be decided by this PS bit. So again, when it is 0, when it is 1, so depending on that, the serial communication, that interrupt priority is been decided. ही जर bit 1 असेल कुठली PS, तर टायमर असू द्या किंवा तुमचं एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट असू द्या, त्याच्यापेक्षा हायर प्रायोरिटी सिरियल कम्युनिकेशनला दिली जाते. जस्ट नोट इट डाऊन. जर PS इज इक्वल टू 1, then it means that serial communication has the highest priority. Serial communication has the highest priority as compared to timer interrupt or external interrupt. तर असा ह्याचा PS चा उपयोग आहे, दॅट इज IP.4. त्यानंतर IP.3 आणि IP.2, PT1 आणि PX1. PT1 and PX1. So what is the meaning of that? So they are used for the PT. So P stands for the priority and T stands for the timer. X stands for the external. अशा प्रकारे लक्षात ठेवा. P stands for the priority साठी, T stands for timer आणि X stands for the external interrupt. Definitely external interrupt. So what it is there? So PT1 आणि PX1, तर ह्याच्यामध्ये असं कॉम्बिनेशन होईल की ज्यामध्ये ठरवलं जाईल की टायमरला प्रायोरिटी दिली जाईल का एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्टला प्रायोरिटी दिली जाईल. त्यामध्ये सुद्धा टायमर 1 आहे, इंटरप्ट 1 आहे, टायमर 0 आहे, इंटरप्ट 0 आहे. तर त्यासाठी प्रत्येकासाठी वेगवेगळी बिट त्यांनी इथं दिलेली आहे. So PT1 for timer 1, PT0 for timer 0, PX1 for external interrupt 1 आणि PX0 it is for external interrupt 0. तर हे जे वेगवेगळे इंटरप्ट आहेत, तर त्यातला कुठल्या इंटरप्टला हायर प्रायोरिटी दिली जाईल, तर ते ह्या IP रजिस्टर मधल्या फील्डच्या लॉजिक 1 आहे का लॉजिक 0 आहे त्याच्यावर डिपेंड आहे. सो द क्वेश्चन अराइजेस दॅट की इफ टू इंटरप्ट सायमल्टेनियसली, म्हणजे एकाच वेळेस जर 1 झाले फील्ड, तर मग काय डिसिजन घेणार आहे? सो 8051 is having its own timing control or the timing cycle priority, and depending on that, it will use the access to the priority. ही दोन्ही ऍट अ टाइमच झालेले आहेत, परंतु काही मायक्रोसेकंद काही मिली सेकंदचा फरक असेल किंवा फॉर अदर प्रायोरिटीज ऑल्सो की पहिल्यांदा हार्डवेअर इंटरप्ट 1 ला प्रायोरिटी दिली जाईल जर दोन्ही झाल्या. So it is decided by the manufacturer while doing the manufacturing, the hardware based, and that decision will be taken by 8051 itself. परंतु जर युजरला डिफाइन करायचे असेल तर हा IPSFR आहे की ह्याच्या थ्रू वी कॅन डिसाइड द प्रायोरिटी ऑफ द external interrupt or timer or serial communication. So this is what about the interrupt priority. So whatever we have seen right now, that is IE and IP related to interrupt. So note it down, and we will move towards the last SFR, that is SBUF. S again stands for the serial communication, and buff, it is the buffer. Got it? So what is the use of buffer? I think all you are knowing. Buffer means the extra space where in serial communication the data can first come to buffer and then come into the operation. म्हणजे क्यू लागलेली असते, सिरियल इनकमिंग आहे म्हणजे 1 by 1 बिट्स आर कमिंग. तर पहिल्यांदा बफर मध्ये ऑलरेडी बिट्स येऊन थांबतात आणि त्यानंतर जागा झाली की त्या पुढे सरकतात. That is what buffer it is required for serial communication. So in this case also 2 SBUF are required. कशासाठी? कारण सिरियल कम्युनिकेशन मध्ये जर डुप्लेक्स कम्युनिकेशन असेल, आता डुप्लेक्स कम्युनिकेशन व्हॉट इट इज, आय डोंट फील दॅट की इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू गिव्ह द एक्सप्लेनेशन. So if it is the duplex communication, so the transmission as well as reception both at a time it is going on. तर येणाऱ्या बिटसाठी बफर पाहिजे आणि जाणाऱ्या बिटसाठी सुद्धा बफर पाहिजे. मग एकच बफर असून उपयोग नाही. सो फॉर दॅट द डिफरंट बफर्स आर रिक्वायर्ड. शिवराज काळे लेफ्ट द मीटिंग. I don't know. So if you are just putting the numbers over here and going to left the meeting, so I will just ignore this for attendance. So don't leave that the session. So definitely in next session we will ask Shivraj Kade, Aishwarya Shurya Pujari left. So I'm just noting down these names. Why they are doing like this, don't know. Okay, the others can concentrate. So SBUF म्हणजे की बफर आहे की येणाऱ्या बिटसाठी आणि जाणाऱ्या बिटसाठी काही जागा राखीव ठेवली जाते. तर किती जागा राखीव ठेवली जाते तर 8 बिट. सो ॲट द एंड इफ यू आर लुकिंग, सो इट इज हॅव्हिंग द 8 बिट स्पेस फॉर SBUF की ज्याचा ॲड्रेस आहे 99H. So that is also expected to remember that SBUF चा ॲड्रेस किती आहे. So definitely we will ask this about SBUF to this Shivraj Kade, Surya Pujari, and those who are living before the time. So definitely this, the next session we will ask to them. So if they are your friends, just tell to them. शिवराज काळे सर नेटवर्क इश्यू होता म्हणून लेफ्ट झाला, मग तिथं टायपिंग करताना कसं काय परत आला. सो आर यू देअर शिवराज? तेजस्वी थोरात लेफ्ट. ऍट ए टाइम सगळ्यांना शेवटच्या ओके 5 मिनिटांमध्येच नेटवर्क इश्यू येतो का?
Komal Yadav. Okay, so let us complete this one. So afterwards we will have a discussion on this one. So this is what the buffer is having the 8-bit capacity. So all the bits are coming serially and they are moving serially. So this is what the explanation is also given here. That is the SBUF. It is a 8-bit register used for serial communication for a byte data transferred via TXD separate buffer, and for RXD separate buffer it is there. So this is how this particular SBUF SFR it is related with serial communication. Got it? So these are the all SFRs, 21 SFRs we have seen till now. So you also just go through that, prepare your own notes for these 21 SFRs because they are the basic theoretical knowledge points from 8051. From next unit, we are going to start the program actually. How to write, what to write, which program, how we can control the peripherals like that. So this is what the theory part it has been ended. Now the logical programming part it is going to start from the next unit. Before that, we're supposed to conduct the one test. So on Monday, probably, how that Parvez has conducted. Is it the correct format? Can anyone give the suggestion that this 1 hour it is provided that in that 1 hour only you can write the answer, you can submit the answer. So if it is so, so we will also do the same thing. We will arrange the test instead of the extra time you're supposed to give. In that the lecture time only we will conduct the test. So 40 minutes are enough actually for that to write the MCQs answers in that for submitting. But the case is that all should be present for that giving the test. Today also for every lecturer nowadays the attendance is very good. So in the same way on Monday we will conduct the if possible the test. So be ready for that test. The syllabus first and second both unit we will keep so that the revision you will take for the both the units. So 20 marks, 20 MCQs, or let us see that 15 MCQs if it is there. So I will see that. So on Monday or in next week, anytime you just be prepared for the this MCQ test. So here we will stop. So just put your roll number, name in the chat box so that it will be treated as attendance for you and then you can leave. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes. Yes, Komal.
so मी प्रेझेंट आहे.
मी प्रेझेंट आहे मध्येच लिव्ह झाला शेवटच्या 5 मिनिटात म्हणून मी म्हणलं का लेफ्ट
नाही
होता
सर,
शेवटच्या
तो कॉल आलता त्यामुळे ते बॅक झालं.
ओके ओके
सर होते मी झाले ना जॉईन लगेच कॉल आलता त्यामुळे ते
ओके 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 मॅडम ठीक आहे काही हरकत नाही.
हो.